Maybe since first time in here, if you just identify yourselves as you're asking Coach questions, that'd be great. So,
Hey, Dana, Sean Callahan with Husker Online. I'm curious, what was your familiarity growing up in Iowa with Nebraska football, and how much did you know about Nebraska before you came here?
Quite a bit. I grew up 30 minutes south of Iowa City, so grew up a fan of theirs, and just obviously being in this part of the country, I knew what Nebraska football was all about, and didn't have any ties to it, but I guess probably the closest thing I could say I did was we took a lot of trips to Colorado, and so we would drive right through here. But just all, a great deal of respect for the program, the history, the tradition, and it's exciting to be a part of it.
Just Steve Sipple from Husker Online. Basic question: Why did you want to take this job at this time?
I was bored. Great deal of respect for Coach Rule. We visited in December, and I didn't think it was fair to him, me, or the program to do it at that point. I was tired. I'd been through a lot, and just didn't have to do it at that point, and I didn't feel like I was ready to give it my all. I was very grateful to Sonny Dykes and TCU for being a consultant there, which kept me around the game. I was there for I think 3 weeks in camp, and then went on vacation for about 2 weeks. Came back, and I was always there. I was there for 2 weeks, and I was there for 2 games, and I didn't like being a part of the games because I wasn't a part of the games. All right, I was up in the head coach's suite for a game, and I was on the sidelines for a game, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this part of it. If I don't have any control over it, I don't want to do it. So I would just help prep them in the beginning of the week, and then I'd go do something else. It was fun to kind of go do other things, but I was slated to go back to Fort Worth on Sunday night, and Coach Rule called, and I was like, yeah, he said, let's just come try to figure this out. I need your help. And so I was grateful to him for saying that I needed your help, and so I was like, I think a great deal of him. I think a great deal of this program. So I was excited to jump on it, rules allow it now. In years past, rules wouldn't have allowed it. So, I just wanted to insert myself and try to help Coach Rule and try to help this football team and try to help this great program.
Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald. Welcome to Nebraska, Dana.
Thank you.
Curious about. Okay, so you've been here about a week and a half, 2 weeks. What do you think of this group, of this offense? How do you feel like it can get fixed? Because Rule has used that word, fix. And how quickly do you think that can happen?
I had no idea what to expect on Saturday. I dove right in, and a week later, he made the announcement. I didn't know what was going to happen in the beginning. I didn't come here with the intention of being the offensive coordinator and the play caller. We didn't know what it was going to look like. He's just like, hurry up and get here, And so I got here and just started digging into it, and I think my job is to wake up and try to make it better every single day. I've literally worked 16-hour days every day for what's it been, 13, 14 days now, or whatever it is, So I'm still learning. I'm still learning the offense. I'm still learning different nuances. I'm still learning the players. I don't know all the players yet, and so I'm still trying to get to know those guys. And at the end of the day, it's about putting your head down and just trying to prepare, and so for, the first 8 or 9 days, I focused on us and, tried to learn an offense, I watched all the video to try to figure out what we do well and what we don't do well, and, watched 3 or 4 practices to try to assess what we do well and what we don't do well. And then I turned attention to USC and had to figure that out defensively. And then Sunday, I had to turn our attention to Wisconsin, So there's only so many hours in the day. We just got done with a practice out there, 2.5-hour practice, and I'm about to go get into a room and study the video for the next, couple hours. And then then turn the attention back to Wisconsin and start watching third down and medium and third down and long and red zone and score zone and goal line. Leave here late at night, wake up and do it all over again. So there's a lot of information, a lot of assessing, a lot of, but at the end of the day, it's about trying to get these guys in position to be successful, just whatever we can do to practice, to make people better, to give them the information, to try to get these guys to be in position to be able to be successful this Saturday. I ain't thinking about anything else other than that. I ain't thinking about where we need to go offensively. I'm not thinking about, the University of Iowa the next week. I don't know what December is going to look like. I don't know what January is going to look like. I don't care. 100% of my focus is trying to get our offense better to where we can win against Wisconsin on Saturday.
Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. You said when you came, you didn't know if you would end up as the OC and play caller. How long did that process take you during the bye week, and what was that decision like, or conversations like from your perspective?
Yeah, Mitch, it was, I got here and I got into a room and started watching video, and Coach sat in there with me for a couple hours, and a couple of the offensive coaches started coming in. They didn't know what was going on, and we didn't know either. We're just like, we just need to try to figure this out. And I think everybody was professional about it. I think we got really good coaches here. All the offensive coaches are coaching hard. Been very impressed with how they're coaching each one of their positions, including Coach Satterfield coaching the tight ends and giving me information on, what this term means, what that term means. I don't remember the timeline as far as when we made that decision. I know, at first I was like, I don't know if I can learn it to call it, who else can call it? I don't know if I should be. Then I decided, okay, I got it. This probably 3 or 4 days later, I go, okay, I got a handle on it. I think I can do it. He's like, do it. And then a week later, I'm like, geez, I don't know if I should be in the box to call it or on the sidelines to call it. And I think Friday we made the decision. I think, Susan, I told you on Friday that I'm going to go ahead and go downstairs. That's just where I'm comfortable. I haven't been up in the box since 2007, and so I made that decision to do that. And so I don't know the timeline. It was just every day was just something different, and learned more every day, got to know people more every day. The offensive staff continued to work together, and I think we're working together really good right now.
Hey, Dana, Brian Christopherson from Husker 24/7. What's been your early impression of Dylan, and how did you feel like the game day operation went with him?
I thought everything was really good. I started talking into the mic on Tuesday morning of game week. That's the first time I talked into that thing, and it makes play calling a lot easier. The iPads on the sidelines make play calling easier. And I'd talked to a couple of my just colleagues across the country, and they're all like, they called and they said, "So you're going to call it?" And I said, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, the technology is going to help you. It's going, so I can just look at the paper and I can read from it and talk into it. I used to signal everything myself, and now we got a bunch of signalers, but I don't even pay attention to the signalers because I'm just talking to him the whole time, and he's a very, very, very bright young man. It's just, how is this kid a freshman? Because how can he process all this information as a freshman? He knows the plays, he knows the offense, he knows how to communicate it to the players. I thought the process was really good. We had 2 snap infractions, which, is 100% on the center. He will admit that. Okay. But other than that, there was nothing pre-snap. We weren't getting delay of games. We weren't scrambling to get people lined up. I thought it was very efficient. I thought our substitutions on the sidelines were really good. So that was encouraging, and I think it'll all get better. The play on the field needs to get better. The operation I thought was fine. So we're not sitting here trying to worry about the operation. We're trying to worry about the play on the field to get better, and that's what we're working on today, just what it looks like out there on the field.
Coach Jake Bartecki, NCN TV. I'm curious what your thoughts are on the run game, and if you're seeing potential there to kind of open that up a little bit more.
I thought we ran block well on Saturday. They say it's the O-line's best game up front. I thought we played well up front. I can't gauge it on what happened in the first 9 games, but I was pleasantly surprised with our pad level, our toughness. Assignment wise being good. I thought we had a couple of runs that were good, tough runs that got good, tough yards, but I know Coach Rule mentioned it yesterday. There's a lot of yards left out there. When I can push the back and there's a hole like this, and the back's not in it, it's discouraging. And so just got to get those guys to open their eyes and trust the blocks and hit it. I thought at halftime I told the running back coach, I was like, they need to hit that thing better because there are some holes there. It is what it is. You get it up to the second level. We need to get some backs that can make some guys miss in open field. Some of those tackles that USC had are hard tackles, and they made them. So I was pleased with the scheme. I was pleased with what it looked like. We have to get more production. We do have to get more production.
Dana, did you know enough from watching film and watching practice to have some input on personnel in the game, like incorporate this player at receiver or this player at tight end more than what you had seen from Nebraska this season?
Yeah, I give my opinion. I give my opinion. Coach Rule has mentioned this, that fresh set of eyes on things are good. I totally 100% believe that. Position coaches get blinded by what they see sometimes based on a whole bunch of different things. And sometimes players, they come in and they get it's fresh set of eyes on it, and some opinions are different than others' opinions. That's what position coaches, they fall in love with specific people and they don't want to give other people chances. That's every position coach across the country falls into that trap. I did too as an assistant, and so I'm constantly looking at it, and I've voiced my opinion. I found one today. I'm not going to mention it until we go talk about it as a staff, but I found a young kid today that I think can help us play on Saturday. Just keep your eyes open for that. But if at the end of the day, it's about competition. If there's competition, then people play better. If there's not competition, then people relax. And I think our job as coaches, especially in this situation right now, is for I'll say, look, this is what I see. If you don't like it, then do something about it in practice.
Dana Seamark with Inside Nebraska. What are your initial reactions of Nebraska's receiving core and the personnel with the pass catchers?
I thought they blocked well. That's the first thing I challenged them. I was like, guys, I said, you guys are fairly big kids. I know 17's not a big kid, but he's a tough kid. But there's good sized kids out there. 16, 18, 4. These guys, 29. These guys are big bodies. I'm like, why are you not blocking worth the crap on the perimeter? It's embarrassing. You got being a receiver, you think, they want touches, throw me the ball. First thing I said to him, if you don't start blocking out there, then you're not going to get the ball thrown to you. And this past week, it was our best perimeter blocking of the season. I was very happy with those guys, and they're proud of it, because they worked hard on it for 2 weeks. That's where it starts, and then just details of route running and ball skills. We got guys that can make plays. The problem that we probably ran into last week is not defeating man coverage. USC's very talented in their secondary. Wisconsin's very talented in their secondary. Both are going to play a lot of man. We didn't do a very good job of separation last week. We need to do a better job of that this week for us to be successful against Wisconsin.
Coach Kevin Sukes with Channel 10 here in Lincoln. Do you feel any pressure to help this team get a 6th win and get the program to a bowl game for the first time in 8 years?
Yeah, I feel. There is pressure in coaching. Anytime that you line up and you coach a game, there's pressure. So You know, I'm gonna do. It's not gonna change what I do. It's not gonna change how I coach. It's not gonna change the hours that we put in. It's not gonna change my commitment to getting us ready to go practice tomorrow morning and, you know, Thursday morning and what we try to accomplish on. Pressure is something that I'm obviously used to. I mean, I've been a head coach for 14 years and, you know, coaching for 32 years. You line up because of the competitive spirit that you have in you. If you give in to pressure, then you need to go do something else. And I had the opportunity to go do something else. And I'm sitting here trying to help Nebraska win. I know it's on everybody's mind. I know I get it. It's shocking to me that it's been that long since a program like this hasn't been to a bowl game. Doesn't make any sense to me, but it is where we're at. And we tried everything we could to win that game last week, and we had a chance still. And we're going to try everything that we can to win this game this week, and we'll have a chance to.
Thank you.
All right. Good to see everybody.